Hi YouTubies, how are you? It's Marie here. So I have a requested video. Perstiva asked me, hi Perstiva, if I would do a video on how I store my handbags. So I thought I would. Uh, so the first bag I have is my Rebecca Minkoff. And the reason I store them partly is because to keep them not really dust free, but to keep the colors from transferring from one bag to another, depending on where you live. So I have my Rebecca Minkoff, and this is the bag. And what I do is, it does have a removable strap, so I take it out and just roll it up inside the bag, like so. And then it has a nice lining in it. So, but what I do is I take the when the bag comes stuffed, I keep the stuffing, but you have to be really careful with the stuffing because the stuffing has a way of it'll start to deteriorate, and then it'll get embedded in the all the crevices of the lining, the threads, and also get into the zippers, which is the worst thing that can happen. So you don't want that to happen. So what I do is I use a plastic bag, make sure it's full enough, and then tie the top. But I don't tie it so that that there's no air or anything in it, that air can't. I just leave it loose, and then I just stuff it into the bag. Okay. And also, because you do have that, you don't have to worry about the paper also getting wrapped up and mixed up in the zipper on the top of your bag, depending on what kind of bag you have. Now, one of the reasons you do want to stuff it is because if you have the type of bag that has piping, if you leave it laying around and it starts, getting messed up, it'll crack and bend the piping in the bag. And a lot of bags, they use plastic piping and it's covered with a leather, which a lot of bags do that. A lot of bag companies do that. So you want to keep this in really good shape, okay? And that's one of the reasons you want to stuff the bag. And it also keeps it from getting folded up and leaving crease marks in the bag. And I've had many of you ask me, like, if you get a bag at a thrift store or something and it's all, messed up, just stuff it for at least a good week or so and let it sit for a while so that it can get its shape back. That'll usually solve that problem, okay? The next bag I have is my Michael Kors bag. I also do the same thing with this one. Now with a bag like this, because it doesn't have, you don't have to worry about piping, you do have to worry about it because it is Saffiano, that it can be bent too, and then because of the coating on it, it can crack. So you do have to be a little careful. They say it's invincible, but it's not. Believe me, I've seen some bags already where the corners become jagged. So you do have to be careful with the bag. It is leather, it is coated, so you do have to be careful with that. And what I do is I'll just take, again, like for this one, I just took a couple pieces of plastic bag and just stuffed it in here just to maintain its shape. Okay, and then what I do is I put the handles down and I, again, unhook I just put the strap on the inside and just cover it up. Okay, and then I tie the top. Now when I store my bags, I store them standing up like this so that they'll be circulated, because if you set them like this, over time they'll start to lose their shape, and then you can have a problem with that depending on the bag. But I have them stacking up on top in my closet. I have them lined up. Now this is my Coach bag, and I just use it as an example. When you do something like this, you just leave it like that. Even though it is fabric, this all can become wonky. So you don't want to just leave it like that. You want to stuff it. The other thing, too, is when you have a patent leather on here, like I got my Kate Spade bag, and I've said before, if you have a patent leather bag, put it in a dust bag, because it will keep this from transferring. Now, I'm going to show you something. You get two patent leathers together. See? Hear the sound? It sticks. And so when I'm telling you that it sweats, that's exactly what it's doing. And then that's what happens when you find a bag, like a secondhand bag, or you go to some of these stores, and they're like thrift stores, and you'll see them. This is what causes the color transfer. And so if this was a white patent leather, the color from here will bleed on to this one. So it's always a good idea to have something wrapped around this bag, you know, just to prevent it from getting the color to get transferred. Because once you have something on here, like this one here, it's got some white on it, which tells me it was leaning against something, it won't come out because of the way this leather is processed and all of the chemicals and the plastic on here, the coating, you can't get it off, okay? So you do have to be careful. And then again, you can stuff it. Now, you do want to stuff a patent leather bag because, first of all, it's got the, you know, the piping. And also, when this loses its shape, it's very, very difficult to get it to go back into shape. So you want to take really good care of this bag. And I usually will set it up, put it in a dust bag, and just have it set up, because you do want these bags to last you a long time. And the same thing with this, I would put everything in here, and I would stuff it and put it. It does have this bag does have a dust bag, so you know. So this will also keep its shape. Okay. So anyway, I hope that was helpful, and you know, of how to care for your bags. It's very easy. Just take really good care of them, and your bags will last a long time, okay? Because I've had this Coach bag I've had for quite a while, and I take good care of it, and as you can tell, the corners are still in great condition. And I've seen some of the older bags, and they can be pretty, you know, they can get pretty beat up if you don't take good care of them. Anyway, I hope that this was helpful. And if you have any questions or anything, please feel free to comment. I will be more than happy to help you out. Purse Diva, I hope this was helpful. The main thing you want to do with any kind of leather is you want it to be circulated. You don't ever want to put a bag, any kind of leather bag, in any kind of container, the plastic containers or anything, because it'll shut out the air, and it needs to circulate to keep the bag dry, okay? So you all have a good day, and I will talk to you soon, all right? Bye.